In this tutorial, I'm going to be discussing Documents, one of the Google apps for education, and specifically covering what makes it different from Microsoft Word. Instead of creating a document from scratch, I'm going to open up a document that I've already created and talk about some of the features that are unique to Google Documents. Once you create a Google document, it's good to get your students in the habit of naming the document right away. To name the document, they can simply click on where it says Untitled Document at the top, and a box will appear allowing them to name the document. If your students are numbered in class, a good system is to have them begin with their number followed by the title of the assignment. That way, when they share the document back with you, it will be organized by number and have an easy to identify title to the assignment. Once they've named the document, it's also good to get your students in the habit of establishing the sharing settings. Google allows you to share the document with other users, and multiple users can edit the document at the same time. To establish the sharing settings, go to the blue button in the top right corner of the document where it says Share. Here, by default, it will say only you have access to the document, but below, where it says Invite People, you can type the name of another user here and fill in their email address. If your students are in a group that you've created, you can type in your group's email address here and decide whether you want the students to be able to edit, comment, or view the document. If you're creating an assignment that is like a worksheet or something that you want to share the original version with your students, but you don't want them to modify that original version, you want to set the document to Can View. Once you've shared this with the students, they'll be able to view your original version, but they won't be able to make changes to it. What they can do, if you've shared it with them as Can View, is create a copy for themselves that they'll be able to modify. And your original version will not be changed. Then, once you've established the sharing settings, press the Share and Save button. Now, if this document was shared with your students and they have the Can View settings established, they won't see all of these editing tools here at the top. What they'll be able to do right away is go to File and press Make a Copy, and here they can make a copy of it for themselves that they can edit. Please note that if they are creating a copy of the document for themselves, you will not be able to see that copy unless they share it with you. If they do share it with you, you'll be able to see their copy within your Shared With Me drive. Another thing that's unique to Google Documents is the chat box. Here in the top right corner, there's a little box next to the comments box, and it allows you to show this chat box here at the bottom. Any user that has the permission to participate and collaborate on this document will be able to have a conversation here within this chat box related to the document. There's also smiley face and other icons that can be inserted into this chat box as well. Now let's go through some of these menus here at the top, and I'll specifically cover some of the available features that are unique to Google Documents. Within the Files tab, as I mentioned before, your students can make a copy of the document for themselves within here. And you could also move your document to a folder if you want to organize it, organize your drive without ever leaving the document. You can press Move to Folder, and if you had any folders created, you can move it without ever leaving the document. Also within the File tab is a feature called See Revision History. This is very useful if a student who's working on a document collaboratively with others accidentally deletes a portion of their writing and wants to restore it. This is also good if you're interested in seeing which students participated and to the extent at which they participated in the document. By clicking on Seeing Revision History, you have a timestamp letting you know who participated in the document and at what time they participated. And it's color-coded, letting you know which user contributed in which way. If you find the restored version that you would like, or if you find the version that you'd like to restore back to, you can press this link that says restore this revision, and it will take the document back in time, so to speak, and restore that version. You can also show a more detailed revision history here at the bottom, and it will show you an even more detailed timestamp letting you know who participated and at what time. Going back to the File menu, you could also download this document and take it out of Google Apps in order to use it in another program. For example, you can download this as a Microsoft Word document and use it within Microsoft Office. You could also use it in Adobe by downloading it as a PDF document as well. Emailing collaborators is a feature within here where you can actually have a conversation about the document without ever leaving it. It'll automatically put the name of your document in the subject line, and you can type a message and it will send it to anyone who has editing or viewing or even commenting permissions on this document, allowing you to have a conversation outside of the document related to it. Finally, under the File tab, you can email it as an attachment instead. By clicking on this, it will attach the document. You can indicate who you'd like to send an email to and include a message. This is different than actually sharing it and sending the link to the document, because it actually attaches the document itself to the email. When you go up to share initially and you invite people, you have the option to check this box that notifies them via email, and they will be shared and emailed this link. The document itself becomes like a website, and by following this link and clicking on it, it takes them to the actual document. But I just wanted to make you aware of the fact that within the File tab there is a way to email an actual attachment of the document as well. The Edit tool, or the Edit menu and the View menu, have a lot of features that are very similar to Microsoft Office, so I'll skip ahead to the Insert menu. Like Microsoft Office, you can insert images and links and equations, but something very interesting about Google Documents is inserting this drawing here. One of the apps within Google under Create is Google Drawing, but Google Documents have this feature available right from within this app too. If you're creating a worksheet and you'd like to include a diagram or a picture, you can actually create that diagram or picture using the drawing feature and insert it right into the document. So if I click on drawing here, there's a number of tools that you can use, various lines and shapes, text box, and you can even insert a picture that you'll upload from your computer as well. And you'll be able to insert it right within the worksheet. You can also insert a comment. So if you are providing feedback, or your students are providing feedback to someone in the class, they can highlight the section of the writing that they'd like to add a comment to and go to this Insert Comment. It will tie the comment to the user's name and also provide a timestamp for when the comment occurred. Another way to add a comment is to click on an icon on the toolbar that looks the same. If you hover over it, it says Insert Comment, and you can add a comment that way. And also there's a third way to add a comment by going up to the top right corner where it says Comments. You can see a list of any comments that have been made to the document, or you can add a new comment here as well. Now moving on to the Tools menu. Unlike Microsoft Word, it's not called spell check if you'd like to spell check the document, it's just simply spelling. So if you click on spelling, it will pinpoint any words that have been misspelled throughout the document, and it will suggest alternative spellings that you can change it to or you can ignore. Another tool available within the Tools menu is Research. This is actually one of my favorite parts of Google Documents because it integrates Google Search right within the document itself. So what you could do is you can either highlight a keyword that's within the document, or you can even type in the word after clicking on Research. And what it'll do is it will pull up search results related to that search term. If you look up the web results here and hover over any of them, what you could do is preview the page before actually going to it to see if it's a website that you're interested in. And if it's not, you can go look at another one. You can click on the link itself and it will open up the page in a new window for you. And if you find that it has the research that you're interested in using, you can insert a link to it, and it will actually highlight and underline the portion of the text and link it to that page. Or if you don't want to do that and you just want to actually cite it within your paper, you can click on the Cite button and it will provide a citation to that website at the end of your paper here below. Right here. This is great to explain to your students about citing sources and giving credit to those who are the owners of the document or the web results. Another cool thing here is you don't need to just actually see web page results, you can actually see images as well. And if your students would like to insert an image, they can simply look through the images that are provided here, drag them and insert them wherever they'd like them to appear in the document. They can click on it and they'll be able to modify the size of the document by clicking on these corners here. And then here at the bottom it will cite the source of the photo as well. Also within the Tools tab you have a way of defining words as well. So you can click on Define and it has a built-in dictionary here. You can type in a word that appears within the text or simply highlight a word and it will define the word, and in some instances it will also provide synonyms and antonyms of the word as well. This tutorial has been intended to show you Google Documents, which is part of the Google Apps for Education suite, and specifically show you some of the features that are unique to Google Apps.